sometimes it's not just about a great idea, it's about the network behind it. Today we're going to be sitting with Dr. Karr, the president of UAH. How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well.
Good. Well, thank you for having me.
Of course. Yeah, I was excited. I actually have not gotten to meet you yet. I'm a new student at UAH. I started in January, but I've heard great things.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes. So being that you are retiring next year, I wanted to sit down and be able to talk to you about a couple things about your experience, how it's been for you, and what you plan to do next. So give us a synopsis of your career path, explaining how you got to where you are today.
Well, let's see. So, no, it's okay. I joined a different university south of here in the state when I was 18 years old. I went through and earned an undergraduate degree in engineering, a master's degree, a PhD in engineering, all from the same university.
Okay.
When I graduated with my PhD, I then took a job there.
Okay.
So I became a faculty member and kind of rose up through the ranks. I was an assistant professor, associate professor, full professor.
Oh, wow.
I became the head of the aerospace engineering department down there. I was an associate dean. And then for about 17 years, I served as the dean of the College of Engineering down in Tuscaloosa.
Nice.
Then I retired, and I think I got 2 good days of retirement in, and they asked me to come up here to UAH. So they asked me to come up here for maybe as much as 8 months on an interim basis, and that was a little over 4 years ago. So
Okay.
it was kind of a pretty straight line path
Yeah.
with one discontinuity in there.
Okay.
But it's been kind of an interesting ride.
So you said you were the dean of the College of Engineering. What was the school's focus? Because like ours is STEM. What was the focus of that school?
Well, so the University of Alabama is much more comprehensive, right? It's way more balanced. Down here at UAH, about 65% of our people are STEM engaged, right? Tuscaloosa, that really wasn't the case. I mean, a much larger College of Education, a much larger College of Social Work.
Gotcha.
So down there, I think the College of Engineering represented 10 to 15% of the student body at UA.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was much smaller.
Yeah.
Right. But they do a lot of innovative things down there. Right now, their big focus in the College of Engineering is really related to water resource issues. And so totally different than what we do up here.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, because I'm from California and I just moved here a couple years ago, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like this school is way more up your alley. Am I right?
Probably so. Yeah, probably so. Yep.
Very cool. Okay, so you've led UAH through some pivotal moments. Tell us a little bit about your role as university president.
Well, so the truth of the matter is that the job of president of the university is very complex, right? There are hundreds of facets to it. You know, everything from making sure that the facilities are okay to we have a gym that's operative to midnight breakfast last night, all the way to selecting faculty and all. So really what you do is I think you identify a couple of areas that you really want to put your time and attention on, and then you kind of make sure you have really, really competent people that are doing all those other things. So for me, when I first got here, everything I heard from every corner was that UAH had kind of been disengaged from the community. And I think that's a huge mistake for us at UAH. I think we really need to be integrated into the community. We need to be viewed as great corporate partners with all the companies and entities here in the community. So I've spent an awful lot of time over the last 4 years trying to rebuild some of those relationships, relationships over on Redstone Arsenal, relationships with companies in Cummings Research Park and the rest of the community. And that's not just tech, right? I mean, it has to do with hospitals. It has to do with a public school system, because we have young people who graduate as teachers, and we want them to understand what we do here at UAH and be viewed as a good resource.
Yeah.
The other thing is I kind of one of the interesting things about many careers, and certainly this one is, the more you advance, kind of the further away you get from what got you in this business, right? So I came in this business because I really enjoy young people and seeing them succeed and seeing them do more than what they think they're capable of. And as you get promoted, you know, I don't deal daily with students around here. So I've really made it a point to try to work more on the recruiting front, right? We want to grow the university, so I try to spend as much time as I can with prospective students, whether I go out and speak at high schools, whether I'm visiting with kids that are coming to check UAH out. So those are the two areas that I've kind of spent most of my time and attention on. But overall, I would tell you that the role of a president is really this. Almost everything I know that young people need to be successful at, they want to do three things, right? They want to establish a vision. Then they got to kind of put a process in place so that if they follow that process, it gives them a chance to achieve the vision. And then number three, when the process gets to be daunting, if your vision's worth chasing, the process will be daunting.
Yeah.
You got to have enough strength of character to stay with the process. And so kind of the role of the president is to help establish that vision, right? Like, what is it we're going to be as a university? And then that kind of sets the compass of all the other activities here need to kind of point in that direction.
Yeah.
And for us at UAH, we started as a research arm of the University of Alabama. We were created basically to help Dr. Werner von Braun in his quest to put man on the moon. So it's always been about supporting Redstone Arsenal and this community on the research front. We want to hold true to that.
Yeah.
But then the other aspect of it is workforce. I mean, the way this community is growing, everybody here has workforce issues. And so that's where kind of growing the university comes out of, is we need to do more to help fill the workforce voids in this community.
That's amazing. Okay, now you're doing a great job. I'm sure you hear that all the time.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, you are, because as someone who is not from here, like I said, I've only been here 3 years this month. But when I first came here, because you say your goal was to make UAH more a part of the community, I saw the UAH logo on everything in the community. Like when I got here, that's something I noticed. I was like, wow, they're so involved in the community. So to hear that it wasn't like that initially, that's amazing.
Yeah, well, that's been, like I said, that's been really, really important. I mean, so one thing for people to understand is here at UAH, about 80% of our graduates stay in the Huntsville area once they graduate. So, when I got here, I told people, well, look, we're going to go out and we're going to recruit great people. And they said, oh, good, we need good students. I said, no. We're going to have good students. We need great people. They're going to be our neighbors, right?
Yeah.
These are people that are going to stay here, contribute to the excitement that's going on in this community. They're going to be the generation that makes a determination whether Huntsville continues to grow and thrive and prosper, or whether it falls off, right? Now, we don't have a market on all the jobs here. We don't have a monopoly on that. But everybody I meet in the community raves about the quality of product that's produced here. They love the graduates. They just want more of them.
Yeah.
Right? So we've got to do a better job of marketing what we do. And my feeling was, you can't just go and be intergalactically renowned right out of the chute, right? So you've got to be really, really well known in your community, and then you start building concentric circles that go from there, right? So we're focusing a lot on kind of 150 miles or so, hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. So we're trying to do a lot more work in Chattanooga, Nashville, Birmingham, just to let people know what goes on up here. It's people that are here, they really don't understand this, but not everybody really fully understands what's going on in Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah, no, they don't. I'm telling you.
No.
They have no idea. My dad came here before I did as an engineer, and we're from Silicon Valley. And he was like, oh, come out here, come to Alabama. I was like, absolutely not.
Right.
So it took about 3 years, but when I did, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like a Silicon Valley in the South. And I'm telling you right now, I'm never leaving.
So it's like a Silicon Valley, but where people might actually care about you, right?
That's what I'm saying. I said Southern hospitality is real. I experienced it in Huntsville, Alabama. I was like, everybody cares. Everybody is nice. When someone asks you how you're doing, they actually
really
want to know.
No, that's exactly right. That's a big difference, right?
It's insane to me. It's so genuine.
Yep.
It's so genuine. I feel lucky to be here, honestly. So can you tell us a little bit about how the university works to align with the needs of our community?
Yeah, so that's really important, right? And a lot of it is conversation, right? It's being heavily engaged with the Chamber of Commerce here, which is all the local businesses, and going to their events and listening to people and talking to them about, tell me what your company does. What's the biggest challenge you have with regard to your workforce needs? It's regularly visiting with people on Redstone Arsenal. I'm visiting with some kind of a 3-star general every other day, right? It's pretty intimidating, but you want to understand what's your mission, right? And where can we help provide support for that? Is it on the research side? Is it hypersonics? Is it directed energy, right? Then also working with companies at Cummings Research Park and other places in the community. So it's really about going out, making yourself available, listening to people, inviting them in, let them know that, hey, we're going to listen to your feedback, and to the extent possible, we're going to try to to take action on it.
Yeah.
But it's really about just making a concerted effort to fully understand what goes on in this community. Have the opportunity to visit with the mayor regularly and our state and federal representatives, just to try to understand where they're going, where they see the community going. And then from that, it's pretty easy to pair up with where you want to get in line with that.
Yeah, it's like genuine connection. Once you genuinely figure out what they need,
that's right.
you can genuinely help them.
No, you really can, right? And I mean, we can't do it all, right? Like, somebody may say, well, we need a program in X. And I go, well, one of our, for instance, I'll have some people tell me, well, we need biomedical engineers. And I'm like, well, our sister university down at UAB is like world class in that, right? So I'm not sure that it's really a good investment for us to try to duplicate that in a state the size of Alabama.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll work to try to help them make connections either at UAB or Vanderbilt or wherever it may be.
Nice. Okay. So why do you think it's important for a space like I2C to be embedded within the university campus rather than separately from it?
So graduates today are going to kind of face a big paradigm shift. I tell young people all the time, you're going to enter a world where people aren't going to pay you for what you know. They're going to pay you for what you think. Right?
Yeah.
If you can.
Wow, that was deep.
Well, no, but I mean, if look, y'all got that chat
GPT,
Google, whatever
exactly
that stuff is, right? Wikiphobia, whatever that is, right? So I mean, I can look all that stuff up, right? But they're going to pay you for what you think. Okay, so I harken back to when I stood in front of a classroom and I talked to students, and came around test time, and every time they wanted, well, what we got to know for the test, right? That's what they always told me. Right?
Yeah.
And I said, well, pretty much one thing, you got to know how to think. And I'd hear this huge collective groan from the class.
Yeah.
Because that was kind of the thing that intimidated them the most, right? I mean, if you told them they had to have rote knowledge and that, you got to memorize this and this and this and this, they may not have liked it, but they were okay with it, right? Well, nobody's going to pay you for that anymore, right?
Yeah.
So what people want is they want creative problem solvers, all right? And that requires a lot of innovation. And innovation is really talking about looking at new ways to approach things, new ways to do things. And a lot of times that comes from getting people together who come from different backgrounds and bring different perspectives, right? And I2C is a perfect example of that, right? This is everybody likes to talk about ecosystem, and I kind of hate to use that word, but here's a place over here where you have people from the community, you have people from industry, you have students, you have faculty that come through here, and you have a lot of spaces out there that are kind of just open air where people are going to sit down and have coffee together. And I think that's where a lot of innovation comes from. And so having it embedded in the university, I just think is really, really important. And we want to create more spaces where people can look at problems from different vantage points, right? And they help encourage or challenge one another to think about problems in a way that maybe they haven't thought about them before.
Yeah.
Those are the people that are going to be extremely valuable out in the marketplace, right?
Yeah.
And so things like I2C, but also student organizations and anything else we can do at the university that kind of gets you just out of the classroom, right? I tell people, look, here. So Mark Twain, paraphrasing, kind of said, I try to never let my schooling get in the way of my education. And here's the distinction I make, right? So at UAH, you're going to get great schooling. Those are the classes you're going to go take. They'll be really, really, really good. But your education occurs on a million other fronts. It becomes because you got to figure out how to do a podcast, or it occurs because you're on an undergraduate research project, or because you're part of the Space Hardware Club, or you organize an event to help the homeless, right?
Yeah.
Those are all places where you learn an awful lot of things, and it's not rote memory, but it just helps add to your creative juices. And so anything we can do to help promote that, I think, is a positive, and certainly I2C is in that realm.
Yeah, and I agree with what you just said about education and the difference between like your education and like your classes, because this was my third time coming back to college, and I was like, I'm going to finish this time. I'm going to do it differently, and it has been different. But it's because being here, I realized that going to college is less about the classes you're taking and more about every single thing else.
So I try to tell young people this, right? So you want to add to your value proposition.
Yeah.
When you go interview for a job, once you graduate from college, you go interview for a job. Understand this: everybody who sits in front of me for an interview, don't worry, they're good students. They got good grade point averages, right?
Yeah.
So what's going to set you apart, right? So I want that student that says, well, I organized an event to where on one day we raised $150,000 for a charity. Well, I want to hire that girl, right?
Yeah.
That's the one I want to hire, right? So I think if people come to college and they recognize that they want to always be adding to their value proposition, right? Like what skills and capabilities do you want to market when you get out of here? You want to market, I got a 3.8 grade point average, fine, but you're just one of many at that juncture, right? So what's going to make me in an interview go, that's the one I want to hire?
Yeah.
Right? And so at UAH, if we can create spaces and entities and opportunities for young people to add to their value proposition, I think it's really, really a positive, right?
Yeah.
So that's actually another advantage when you look at a university like UAH where we've got 9,000 students, right? So we provide lots of opportunities for students. They do at other universities as well. It's not the opportunities that are afforded you, it's the opportunities that you can actually access.
Yeah.
Right? And I think here at UAH, a lot of the opportunities that we make available for students, they're accessible to them, right? I mean, it's not like, I got a 3-year wait list before I can get into that,
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
You want to be in a Greek organization, we'll get you in a Greek organization. Go take on leadership roles in that, right? And there's plenty of examples where students have really excelled basically because they had access to opportunities that were afforded them.
Yeah, I agree. They do that very, very well here, for sure. So are there any standout examples that come to mind where UAH students or faculty made real-world impact through innovation, research, or entrepreneurship?
Oh, wow. The more challenging part there would be to figure out how to limit them, right? So we had a bunch of students who, with faculty supervision, expanded and enhanced some radar systems that now allow for more accurate measures of wind temperatures and hurricanes.
What?
Yeah, but I'm just telling you, right? We've got young people who work on drones. We just had a big international competition done through NATO.
Oh, okay.
That really has to do with drones for first responders, right? Like, so
That's big right now.
Oh yeah, right. So you have damage in a building, you take a drone, go in there, to help monitor, help identify people. That's still really, really prominent. We've got examples over in the healthcare side where students in our College of Nursing work with people in the College of Engineering to actually develop training devices for students, right? So, like, you think about when you go into the hospital and they got to give you an IV, right? Well, you think, well, that's just standard thing. Well, no. Nurses had to practice that time after time after time after time. And so they've got training devices that help people do that, right? They 3D print various body parts from the liver to the heart where young people can train on them, right? And then there's just countless others, right? Like, I think we probably have, we've got a few hundred students on our campus who already have security clearances. So they're doing work on things over there at Redstone Arsenal.
Nice.
And at Redstone Arsenal, they're looking for solutions, right? They're not looking for people who are going to do these big grandiose kind of research things. They've got problems that need to be solved. And so our students and faculty through our research centers are engaged with those kinds of things on a daily basis. Some of them they probably can't even tell me about it. They'd have to kill me, because they're classified or whatever. I think we have at UAH, we actually have the largest storm chaser group in the country. So you've seen these things on TV where people chase the tornadoes and all?
Yeah.
We got trucks that do that. We got kids that go out on those kinds of things. And yeah, so I mean, it's really amazing at some of the work that goes on here. And again, that's another case where, students get so engrossed in trying to pass their classes and, earn their degree, and I appreciate that. But being able to step back and look and go, golly, man, I didn't even know we did that, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I want to touch on something you just said about they want solutions, right?
Correct.
So I recently interviewed Greg Fortier, who's the senior vice president of SAIC, and he was mentioning the same thing. I asked him what advice he would give somebody who wants to I think I said be an entrepreneur, start a business. And he said, find out the problem and solve it. He said people like to create businesses and then try to figure out who it can work for.
Correct.
He said, do it the other way around. Powerful.
No. So a lot of that's, what you call domain knowledge. They talk about that a lot in AI, right? It's about, hey, we've got a tool here. But we've got to really understand what the problem is, right? Like, so if you're going to go start a business on tornado evacuation, well, maybe you ought to get over there and ride on one of those trucks and chase a few storms down, right? So you kind of understand what's going on, right? Well, no, I'll read about that in a book, right? Well, that's way different, right? Most of the people that come up with really, really innovative solutions are people who have been engrossed in there and they fully understand the problem, maybe more so than the management of their company, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not an entrepreneur. My advice to an entrepreneur would be actually, do something first, right?
Exactly. Yes, I agree. Okay, so what excites you most about the future of UAH?
Well, so first and foremost, I'm really excited about the quality and caliber of young person who comes here. They're really bright. They're really focused. They seem to be really, really serious, and a lot of really, really good kids. You'll see that through the high number of faith-based organizations we have here, young people doing service work out in the community. So the first thing is I'm really, really excited about the caliber of young person that comes here. After that, I really think we're positioned well to be able to grow the university. When I got here, I said, well, we wanted to grow enrollment, but that's not something you just snap your finger and all of a sudden enrollment goes up, right? You got to put some things in place. So one of the places that I decided we needed to put some focus and attention on was facilities. Young people want to go to a place to where they see new stuff, right? So we've got a new engineering building that should be finished this summer. We're about to take the Bevel Center and totally revamp it and make it a cybersecurity facility. We're about to go across the street on Sparkman and work on Exploration Plaza, where we'll probably have a new residence hall, an office complex, and maybe a research building for AI. So we wanted to build up some facilities, improve those. There's work going on in the CTC. There's a new track facility coming on. The other thing that I think we wanted to do was to try to put in more campus life kinds of things, right?
Yeah.
I mean, young people appreciate that they get an opportunity to go to class and they get an opportunity to do undergraduate research. I don't want to advertise this broadly, but hey, we want y'all to have a little bit of fun while you're here too, right? So you want to have some other things in place, whether it's expanding and enhancing Greek life, whether it's supporting what goes on with some of our student organizations. You want just a little bit more campus life because you want it to be inviting for young people to come here. They know they're going to get a good education, but the truth of the matter is they can do that at a lot of places. And so you just want to make it inviting. So I think in growing the university, look, we're really super positioned. We're regularly voted as one of the top return on investment colleges around. Young people know when they leave here, they're going to get really, really good and gainful employment. I'm also excited about how we've integrated ourselves into the Huntsville community. I don't see the Huntsville community's prosperity slowing down at all. You're going to see companies continue to come here. A lot of people like to talk about it. Well, it's the next Nashville. Well, so UAH is really, really positioned well to be able to support all those efforts. And I think that's kind of exciting too. But at the end of the day, it's really about the young people who come here. And what excites me about UAH is what's always excited me about this business is you see people come here and they go on and then they're really prosperous, right? And, like when I talk to students, I go, look, you need to understand this, right? So 20 years from now, when I go evaluate, was my time at UAH worth it? It won't be because, you run your own podcast company or whatever, right? It's because I'm going to see you in a grocery store one day and I'm going to say, oh, Miss, how's it going? You're going to go, really good. I'm married. I've got a couple of kids. I earn a living for them, and I'm a solid member of society. Because at the end of the day, that's what you really want to see is about the development of people, not just training them to get a job.
Yes, I agree. So, as you look toward retirement in 2026, what legacy do you hope to leave behind? I mean, I feel like I could answer that. I feel like you already did, but what legacy do you want to leave behind?
Okay, so here's what I'd tell you. You got a car?
Yes.
Yeah, what kind?
I have a Nissan Versa 2026.
Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb here, but I would suggest that when you get in that driver's seat and you look and the front windshield is huge and the rear view mirror is a little bitty thing, right?
Yeah.
So I've kind of spent my entire career, my entire life trying to focus out that front windshield and not really worry about what goes on in the rear view mirror, right? So I've never really been big on, worried about how you're going to be remembered or how you're going to be perceived. I've always really tried to spend all my attention on, hey, these are opportunities I think we can take advantage of right now, right?
Yeah.
So there may come a day when I'm sitting around on a deck someday watching dolphins in the water that I worry about my legacy, but that's not really today. I'm proud of some things that have gone on at UAH. I think we've continued to get really, really good kids here. I think if you look at the university now, you got a little bit, just a little bit more excitement from people.
Yeah.
I think the facilities will be here for an awful long time. They'll have an impact. I think the relationships in the community will be really, really important. But I really don't spend any time worried about, what people will think or remember, right? We just got stuff. I mean, if I didn't have any problems to worry about, I'd probably solve those, right?
Yeah. Wow. That was amazing. I didn't think you were going to answer that question like that. But I do want to say that I believe you did leave a legacy. I also think that you made it really easy for whoever comes in after you because of the foundations that you've already set and the things you've already put in place. Like I said, I've only been here a year, but I thank you for all of the time that you've been here and all the things that you've done.
Well, my experience, my wife and our experience in Huntsville and at UAH has just been fabulous, right? I mean, people here at the university welcomed and embraced us. People in the community have welcomed and embraced us. It's just been a really, really good experience up here.
Love it. Love it. Well, that is all I had for today. Again, I thank you so much for coming. This has been amazing. This is the first time I met you, and it was like the best. I loved it.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yes.
I appreciate what you do. And, again, it's a good example, and it's a good beacon, for students to understand that there really are things outside that classroom they're taking.
Oh, yeah.
Now, look, I want you to pass those classes, okay, but I want you to do some other things while you're here, too. And, again, I just think UAH has a bright future. We still have a bunch of work to do in the 6 months or so that I'm going to be here. Really excited about the group that's been put together to find the next leadership for the university. But at the end of the day, it's really about young people, and it's about young people who are encouraged by their future and hopeful of their future, and us trying to provide opportunities for them to go achieve what it is they can dream. Right? That's what it's about.
Yep, I agree.
All right.
Well, I
Thank
hope
you very much.
guys enjoyed that as much as I did. I hope you learned a lot about leadership, about how to think about your future, the steps you should take, the things you should focus on. And yeah, write all that down and use it for your future.
Thanks,
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
See you next time.